Hey guys, how you doing? This is the second episode of Sam and Cam. I hope you guys are good. Um, Thank you all for watching the first episode and letting us know your thoughts and your likes and everything else in between. So, as we've mentioned before, this podcast is going to be talking about God. We're going to be talking about movies, and we're going to be talking about business and just relatable content. So, I'm not alone. As usual, I'm with Sam. You want to say hi to?
Hello guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. The weather is getting chillier, so today we're a bit warmer. But yeah, I hope you had a good day and I hope you'll enjoy the podcast.
All right. So we're gonna be talking about movies, man.
Yeah, I love movies.
I love movies, bro. I mean, there's a lot of movies that are coming up. I think one thing we've noticed over the past 10 years or so, superhero movies have been dominating the box office. And I think 10 years before that, it is either animation or supernatural movies, you know,
Oh,
like
the Twilight.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
type of movies. So
And before that, it was your cop, bad cop, good
yeah,
cop.
your Die Hards,
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys,
Yeah.
type of movies. So I think a lot, and I think before that it was like your teen movies. You know, your teen movies like your The Breakfast Club, you know, Führer's Day Off. Those kind of movies.
10
But
Things I Hate About You.
you remember 10 Things I Hate? Yeah, man. That's where I got exposed to Heath Ledger. Actually, that movie. I was in high school at the
Heath
time.
Ledger.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But anyway, we hope you like movies too. Yeah, we're just gonna get into it. We don't really have specific movies in mind, but we just love talking about movies, man. And let us know your top 10 movies or your top 5 movies, your top 10, top 5 actors. And yeah, let's get into it, man. So, have you watched any movie recently?
Recently, so I've not really watched new movies.
Yeah.
I've watched a bit of old movies, I think maybe because of nostalgia.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the Bourne, the
Yeah.
Bourne Supremacy, Jason Bourne.
Okay.
I've been enjoying.
I think the 4 Bourne movies that have Matt Damon in them were directed by Paul Greengrass, if I'm not mistaken. And the Bourne films are based on a book. And fun fact, John Black from Days of Our Lives is slightly based on the Jason Bourne character. If you remember John Black, he didn't know his name. Think about it. He didn't know his true name. John Black is not his real name. He didn't know his true name, and he didn't remember most of his past.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember John Black from Days of Our Lives?
Yeah. So they took that character from
What?
the Bourne book franchise.
Oh, and I thought it's actually based on the Bond franchise, but actually, hey, John Black.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, please continue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been looking at those movies. I like also your comedies. Yeah, I like your rom-coms as well.
They're cheesy, but
yeah,
we like happy endings.
Yeah, happy endings. You know, I've been watching a lot of Madea also.
What are your thoughts about Tyler Perry movies?
I think they're good. Or maybe let me say back then, for me,
Okay.
I think his writing was a whole new scale, you know, something that like your
Diary of
a Mad Black Woman,
Yeah.
you know, Madea's Big Happy Family.
Yes. I think that was Family Reunion or something.
Family Reunion.
Yeah.
So he's bringing the black culture, the American black culture
Back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. And now we're getting to see them differently from how we used to see music videos. Because you know, music videos
Yeah.
give us
Yeah.
that impression that they living bling life.
Yeah.
They living.
Hey man, going to a club, like those music videos would make you want to go to a club because it
Yeah.
always looked so great.
You want to talk like that.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
You want to wear a do-rag at night.
Yeah, yo,
Or
man.
at a club, rather. At the club. Let me say the club.
Even when you sleep, you want to sleep with it, wake up with
Yeah,
it, because
exactly.
you want to wear a straight cap.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it brought us to that thing of no, these guys live normal life. They also have a kasi, you know.
Yeah.
They call
The
it
hood.
ghetto.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying such movies. and
Okay.
superhero movies.
There's two things I want to mention. I saw a poster of Acrimony 2. I don't know if it's a real poster or if it's just a photoshopped fake poster, but it shows Taraji underwater and they say Acrimony 2, it's not over or something like that. Speaking of Tyler Perry. So if it is real, I don't know if it might diminish the quality of the first film, because I feel like everything was covered in that first film. What are you going to do in the second one?
Yeah.
Is she just going to be a jealous woman that wants revenge?
And the thing about part twos is that, it's either you get it right or you ruin the movie.
Yes.
Look at The Matrix. There's part 4.
Yeah, and it wasn't good.
The Matrix should have stopped at part 3.
Personally, I think it should have stopped at part 1.
What?
Yeah, I think it should have stopped at part 1. I'll tell you why. What happens usually with Hollywood films is, usually when they write a movie, they only write it with one movie in mind, right? Like, okay, this is the only movie that we're gonna do. Let's do it right.
But because
of studio execs and whatever, they wanna milk. This movie is making money. Yeah. They wanna milk the entire IP to a point where we lose interest.
Yeah.
So unless a movie is based on a film, on a book. A long book like your Lord of the Rings, you cannot do one movie and hope to have everything in that one movie. Like the Harry Potter movies, they were based on books, so I think that's why they
Divergent.
Yes, even The Godfather.
The Godfather.
And fun fact, The Godfather is one of the very few films in film history where the sequel did better than the first movie.
Sure.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so if they were to do a part 2 of Acrimony, if there is one, I don't know if that post is real, but yeah, I feel part 1 covered everything. So if they were to do a part 2, because now she died underwater, right?
Well, we're not even sure if she died. She would have floated in the water, right?
But that thing,
the rope,
what is that thing?
The anchor.
That anchor, it tied her on the neck, and so I think she died. And what happened to the husband and the wife?
They probably moved on with their lives.
Went on with their lives.
She had a restraining order against the guy, right? So I'm assuming that the cops probably came there and investigated and realized that she wanted to kill them.
And also the family already got their house back. So now part 2, now what are you gonna say? But hey, it takes creativity. So
yeah. But I don't know. If it's true, then I don't think it's going to work. Because what made us so fascinated about the first film was we didn't know which side to take.
Yeah. Even now, there's still a debate.
Yeah, there's still a debate, yeah. In the second one, what are you going to...
Yeah, what are you talking about?
What are you going to...
Because, okay, we saw that you fought.
And then what? But anyway, that's what I think.
So I feel like only certain movies, have part 2s that are very good. While he likes Matrix 1, which I also agree. Matrix, the original Matrix, that was good. But I think Matrix Reloaded, for me, gave me more insight into the life in the real world as to the Matrix, whereas the first movie was more on the Matrix world.
Oh, I get you, because the part 2 focused more on Zion.
Yeah. So the Nebuchadnezzar, what was happening in there.
Yes.
And so certain movies, they just give you more insight into what was the writer thinking, so now you get to see that, okay, so I can actually think further, because part 2 you also get to see the one, exploring
Neo as the one than he was as Thomas Anderson in the first one, because he only said I am Neo at the climax of the movie. So now you identifying with him now as the one. I get it. Yeah, that's true. Look, Reloaded is a good movie. I don't want to lie, but I feel like it's a blockbuster movie. It's the type of movie that you would like to watch at the cinema, right? And you get this, it's a euphoric, feeling when you watch it. And he's fighting all these guys, the Smiths, with that, That was a nice scene. That was great. And he's fighting. He's trying to help the keymaker, and that scene by the highway. When Morpheus was fighting.
Morpheus was here, and then he was flying to get there.
Bro, that's a beautiful movie. I don't want to lie. Yeah, man. The Matrix is a really, really good movie. The second one is good. I mean, the world could have done without it, but I think it added extra layers to what we were already familiar with. And it was good to see Morpheus still being a leader out of the Nebuchadnezzar. It's still respected in Zion
That he's still Morpheus.
as an orator. Yeah, because there's a scene where he's talking to the entire
Yeah, and you know
population.
the name Morpheus, it's actually more fierce.
Oh, more fierce,
Yeah.
as in like a fierce.
Yeah, he's fierce.
Wow.
So he's more fierce.
What I'm familiar with Morpheus is the name is he's the king of dreams.
Yeah.
There's a book called The Sandman by a guy called Neil Gaiman. There's actually a series on Netflix. So he's like the king of dreams. Like he's the guy that will make sure that you have good or bad dreams. And if you think about it, when you look at the first Matrix film, it's as if he's selling Neo dreams, but he wasn't selling him dreams. But it's like he's telling him about going down the rabbit hole and the red pill and the blue pill. And that remind me when we're talking about the God thing.
Yeah,
remind
the
me
Matrix
to
is
the
actually
code.
very
linked
linked to the Bible a lot.
Yeah. Because think about it, right? For a second, don't you think the red pill represents the blood of Christ, the red part,
Okay.
and the blue represents the world, right? So you take the blue pill, you forget everything. You forget that we existed, everything, right? You go back to your old life.
Yeah.
You take the red pill,
Yeah.
and I'll show you how deep the rabbit goes.
The real.
The real truth. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're not eating meat anymore.
You know, talking about meat, there's this guy.
Sila.
That guy.
Yeah.
He's like, as he's eating, he's cutting his meat there. He's like, I know this is not real.
Yeah.
Well, actually try and show you guys the clip where he's talking to Mr. Smith there, and he's telling Mr. Smith that I want the Matrix. I know it's not real,
But I want it.
I want this film. You realize that there are people like that.
But isn't that how life is though? I mean, you look at Instagram, right? You look at us guys, how we're saying that we want a real woman, you want something real.
Reminds me of the barbershop.
Yeah. I'm going there. Actually, the barbershop 3, right?
Yeah.
Where they're saying, you keep saying you want a real woman, but the women that you Google on Instagram are fake.
Yeah, and
but you want the fake bum, you want the fake hair.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's true.
Ish.
If we look at the women that we like
If you look at
on
the woman
Instagram,
you like who walks in the street.
Yeah.
The one with real
that's
afro
not the
hair,
woman that you introduced to.
and the woman with the Brazilian hair. Who do you look at?
The Brazilian hair. So that's why I like the first movie so much. There's so much to decode. It might not be about the meat part, but the analogy of the meat, it applies to almost everything
Yeah,
in
depicts
life.
the real nature
Of man.
that you actually like artificial.
Yeah.
You might not say the words "I like artificial," but
But your actions.
yeah, or your fantasy says "I like the
I
artificial."
like artificial.
Yeah, and
It's
hence artificial is selling so much.
Yeah, it's selling to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is this? This is free advertising, by the way. But
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. So tell me on your thoughts on Titanic. Titanic for a very long time was the highest grossing film up until Avatar. The same director, by the way.
James Cameron, he broke his own record.
His own record.
Yeah, and before that, Steven Spielberg, I think he broke his own record. He released a film that did well at the box office, and then I think he did Jurassic Park, which broke the record. I think it was Jaws or something, if I'm not mistaken. So James Cameron, can you imagine, since '97, there hasn't been any film that was able to beat Titanic until he came
back.
and then ticket sales,
It's like he's a Michael Jackson of film.
and then it was only Avengers
And
Endgame.
that came close.
It actually broke. What's this? It broke the record.
Avatar.
The record.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't.
I tell you. You know what happened? I think.
Guys, let's go and check it out. I
Sure.
say it didn't.
You know what happened?
Because
They had to re-release the film, right? They had to re-release Endgame so that it reaches that mark. And then a couple of days later,
okay.
or a couple of months later, Avatar again, I think, was released or something, and
Yeah.
then It beats, yeah. So I've noticed. Okay, let's go back to Titanic. Titanic was a good film, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. Fun fact: the famous drawing when Rose is drawing, Kate Winslet draws, was actually drawn by James Cameron, the director. He's the one that actually drew that.
Oh,
Yeah.
he drew Rose
He
there
drew- he
with the
drew-
diamond.
Yeah, he drew Rose. That guy's multi-talented, bro.
Wow. So when Jack was drawing there, it's actually James Cameron's
Yeah.
drawing.
And James Cameron also directed the Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. He directed a film called True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis actually recently won an Oscar for supporting actress in a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh. You remember
Michelle Yeoh. She's the famous Chinese, or she's not Chinese actually. She's
Asian.
She's Korean,
Yeah.
but yes, Asian.
Asian martial arts
She
film
started
star.
Jet Li in a number of movies, Tai Chi being one of them.
Even Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Also,
Even
is it Rich Asians as well?
Crazy Rich Asians.
Crazy Rich Asians.
She's also been with Sammo Hung.
Sammo Hung.
And
Yes.
Cynthia
Jackie
Rothrock.
Chan, Ewan Bill, Sammo Hung.
Yes, even Yuen Biao.
Yeah.
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 So I just feel like she's just underrated, man. That lady has done brilliant films over the years. She was in The Mummy 3. She was a Bond girl. I think she was in GoldenEye, if I'm not mistaken. Where else has she been? I mean, we mentioned Tai Chi. We mentioned.
Police Story.
Okay.
So actually, she's not in Police Story. It's Super Cop.
Oh,
So,
Super Cop.
Yeah,
Alright.
Super Cop. So she acts there as a captain. Jackie Chan is the one acting as a Super Cop there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where Michelle Yeoh is featuring in these films.
Yeah, she deserves more respect and admiration for the work that she's done. I'm sure her filmography is quite extensive, especially in the Asian market. But I think the Western market needs to appreciate her more. Don't know her as the Crazy Rich Asians lady. Know her as a
She's
martial
been
arts martial artist.
She knows quite a couple of martial arts styles. Taekwondo.
Really?
Yeah, she's very good in martial arts.
She also featured in Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. Yeah.
Oh yes! Also in the famous Lee Mubai movie, Dragon, what is it? Dragon Claws.
Oh, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon
Hidden
with
Dragon.
Chang Yao Fat.
Yes, Chang Yao Fat.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, he's known as Lee Mubai in the movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So we touched on Western films. We've touched on Eastern films. Do you know a bit about Bollywood?
Sure.
Not so much.
No, I don't have knowledge on Bollywood.
I think we need to watch a bit of those so that we
Yeah.
can touch a bit on them. I mean,
I just know,
Some of the-
obviously, we know the famous lady. She married to the
what's her name
Jones,
again?
Come on, Jones Brothers. Is it Jones Brothers?
Jonas Brothers.
Jonas
Oh, Priyanka
Brothers.
Chopra.
Priyanka
I
Chopra.
thought you were going to talk
We know
about
also
Ashwarya
Rai. She was
Rai.
Miss Universe.
Yes, we know Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh Khan, yeah.
There's another Khan. They're not related though. He passed on a few years ago, unfortunately. He was in The Life of Pi. Yes, you know that guy, right?
Okay.
He was in a film called New York, I Love You. And who else is famous there in the Bollywood space? Some of them I know their faces, but I don't know their names. Unfortunately, but we'll do more research. I mean, Dave Patel.
Dave Patel.
Yeah, he's an Indian, but I don't think he does Bollywood movies. But Slumdog Millionaire, you would say, is the closest thing to a Bollywood film. But it's less musical. But it's a nice Indian film. And then British films.
British films, I don't really know much except for Daniel Craig, James Bond.
Oh yes. Henry Cavill, Superman.
Henry Cavill.
Idris Elba.
Is it Pierce Brosnan?
Yes, but he's
Yeah,
Irish,
so-
no? But it's still.
He's still in the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
Yeah. You said as well who?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Idris Elba. Also, AKA Kwame. You know, Ghanaian. He's
Oh yeah,
he's
that's his Ghanaian name.
Mhm.
Then Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Jason Statham. The lady who acted as
Helen Mirren?
Detective Carter. Captain America's is it girlfriend?
Oh, please, I cannot forget this woman. I can't. Ugh, man, but I forgot her name now. There's a guy called Tom Hall Gleason. He was in a movie called In Time. The reason I'm thinking about Tom Hall Gleason is that there's a Netflix episode with that lady in it. The lady that we forgot now, Agent Carter. How can I forget her name, man? But anyway, yeah.
It skipped me as well. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna remember her after recording this.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. And then South African movies.
South African movies, you know, I'm actually enjoying them now. You know, I enjoyed I Bourne.
I haven't watched I Bourne, but isn't that a mini-series or is it a movie?
No,
is it a movie?
It's a movie.
Oh, okay.
It's a movie.
It stars Kenneth Nkosi.
Kenneth Nkosi. It stars. I forgot her name. The lady who acts as I Bourne. Ooh, forget.
What's her name again?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
She's here, right?
Yeah. You know when you're on the spot.
Natasha Tahani.
Natasha Tahani.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As well as I also recently rewatched Tsotsi.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
Presley.
Chinyaka.
Who's that lady again?
Zola was actually a good actor.
Apparently Zola was supposed to be Tsotsi.
Oh.
He was supposed to play the role of Tsotsi, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in production. I don't know what Gavin Hood decided. And then it was actually Kenneth Nkosi's first role in a film. And then who else is in that film? Terry Peto's in the film.
Terry Peto, very good actress. Actually, talking about Kenneth Nkosi, do you remember Mziwa26?
Bruh, whenever I see Kenneth Nkosi, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
I
Mziwa26.
knew him.
What happened to that
as
show?
Mziwa26.
What happened to that show?
I loved it.
That was a brilliant show.
That was good.
From my understanding, I think this is the synopsis. There's someone who looks, he's a doppelganger of a rich guy who went overseas or something.
So the rich guy had a lot of stress and had a lot of, rich people problems.
Yes.
He can't have time to himself.
Yes.
So here comes somebody that looks like him,
Yeah.
who is, I think was a
Like a
delivery
classy
guy.
guy.
Classy guy.
Yeah.
So now he realized that, hey, this guy can act as me.
Yes.
So, who wouldn't want to live the rich life?
Hey, man.
So the guy's like, yeah, I'll be you. You go do you, So,
Man, that was a good show.
very good.
And it's sad that sometimes good shows get cancelled, even in America.
Yeah.
And sometimes
and you can see by the ending, it was intending on having a
on
part two.
continuing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the writer strike. In America, they have something called the writer strike. And speaking of the writer strike, I read somewhere that Marvel is doing a Blade film, right, with Mahershala Ali in the role of Blade. After he's basically taking the acting role after Wesley Snipes, and it's cool because Mahershala Ali kind of sort of looks like Wesley Snipes. Shout out to Mahershala Ali; he's one of the best actors of our time. He got 2 Oscar awards, like Academy Awards, in a very short space of time. But they haven't started production yet because of the writer's strike, apparently. But that's a story for another day. But apart from that, sometimes, I don't know, maybe if it's budget or if it's low ratings. But good shows, man.
Actually, also on that, just like DC, we know Black Adam.
Yes.
We were supposed to see Black Adam versus Superman.
Yes.
But it was cancelled. There's a whole reset.
Yes.
They changed all of the characters. Including
they're rebooting the whole thing.
Yeah, including Gal Gadot. And I think Gal Gadot was
She's the best Wonder Woman. Okay, look.
Okay, we don't remember
no offense to
the old Wonder Womans.
Who's the lady again?
The one who was supposed to also was a
Carter, Linda Carter.
Oh, Linda Carter.
Yeah, remember the second film? They show a lady at the end. That's the original Wonder Woman.
Her name
Linda
is
Carter.
Linda Carter.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
although she's older now.
Yeah, no offense to her. I mean, she did a TV show I think in the 70s or something. But man, Gal Gadot. When you look at Gal Gadot,
it's as though if there was really a Wonder Woman,
it would be her.
It's Gal Gadot.
What you get from her is strength. It's intelligence. I mean, she can speak different languages. Elegance, opulence. I mean, when she goes to an event, a gala or something, and she gets out of a car, you're like, wow.
It's like she represents Diana.
100%,
Yeah,
like
she
a princess.
is Diana.
Yeah. So it's like in as much as Amazonians are taught to be tough and warriors,
Yeah.
but there's a certain feminine
She has this lady
energy towards her. You can't really get away with doing crazy things to her as a man. You can't be misogynistic. You can't
Yeah.
you can't try to dominate her. But when you look at her and you see her in an evening dress,
especially in the World War 84.
oh yeah, Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
84,
that oh, did I say World War 8? Yeah, so you actually see that elegance coming out, especially when
100%.
she's sort of like addressing Cheetah,
Yeah.
the rival,
Yeah.
and how that woman was looking up to her. You can
Yes.
actually see her strength, you
100%.
see her elegance. Yeah.
So she was definitely a role model, and I think she still is to a lot of young girls, women. And I honestly don't think that any Marvel female character has been that influential to kids, because I think DC, when it comes to female superheroes and female characters, they seem to have more. Well, apart from the Scarlet Witch, though, but we'll get there.
Okay.
They seem to have more influence. I mean, when you look at Harley Quinn,
Okay.
Harley Quinn is like a anti-hero, a villain,
Mhm.
but girls love her.
They love her.
They
yeah.
love her a lot, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie?
Speaking of Harley Quinn, the Joker. Remember the Joker movie that came out a few years ago with Joaquin Phoenix? Yeah. Okay, as I was saying, so Todd Phillips directed the first Joker film, and then I think Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar for that film. So now they're going to be doing the second Joker with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Because Margot Robbie now is busy with Barbie. That is directed by Greta, I forgot her surname. So Harleen Quinzel is going to be, she's a psychologist, right? So I'm assuming that she's going to be playing a psychologist in the latest iteration of the film, or rather the latest installment of the film. So I'm sure she's going to be meeting with Arthur, aka the Joker, at Arkham Asylum. And maybe that's when she's going to be turned into Harley Quinn. Because what happened in the comics is that she tried to help him get better, but she was influenced by him instead, and she became Harleen Quinzel, or rather Harley Quinn. And it's going to be a musical. So you have two Oscar winners in one film, Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix. So I'm looking forward to it. I just don't know what's going to happen, but from the footage that I've seen, the pictures that I've seen, I've realized that there's going to be a Joker impersonator, someone who looks exactly like the Joker in costume, versus Arthur out of costume. So I don't know how that, well, without makeup and everything, so I don't know how that's going to unfold.
You see, that's also another thing about also superhero movies, is that you might look forward to something, but then the outcome might not be as you expected.
Yeah.
Or you might think it's good, but now it turns out it wasn't good. I'll use the Batman. For me, the Batman was a good movie.
Yeah.
I'll use the Black Adam.
Yes.
I think Black Adam was a good movie. But
I really liked it. I
yeah,
liked Black Adam as well.
right. But according to Rotten Potatoes, it didn't really do so well.
Rotten Tomatoes,
yeah, Tomatoes. It didn't do so well.
But you know what I've noticed about Rotten Tomatoes as of late? Some of their criticisms are not audience's criticisms. Like you find that they would say if a film was, they gave it a 0%, but you find that the audience gave it like, audience reviews were like 75%. So I don't take their reviews to heart anymore.
Sure. And what do you think of the Batman, the one that came out now?
I think it's a brilliant movie.
Taking it
Yeah.
from Christian Bale
Yeah.
up to right now.
I think that's fine. It's just something I'm gonna show on WhatsApp. I think. Oh, sorry. I was just recording another. For those that don't know, I was just recording another video here for our friends to see that we're recording another episode. I think it's a brilliant film in a sense that you can tell that the director, I forgot his name. The guy actually looks like Commissioner Gordon. You can see that he took a lot of inspiration from The Dark Knight. And how realistic it is and how gritty it is, and came up with a detective story, because there's a lot of investigations that are going on. There's a lot of clues that Batman is trying to solve, puzzles and things like that. I get that the villain is the Riddler, but you get to see Batman as a detective, because he's considered to be the world's greatest detective. So it was a brilliant film, and it shows you how corrupt the world actually is, because you see that Falcone actually has power over the police.
Yeah.
You know, so he has so much power that not even a billionaire rich man like Bruce Wayne is able to overpower
Sure.
a mob leader like Falcone.
him,
Yeah.
Yeah, and also you get to see Batman in his new elements. You know, it's not this Batman who's got it all under control.
Yeah, he's still young.
It's like, it reminds me of Batman Year One, the cartoon version.
Oh.
You know, so
Yeah.
where he was still trying out, where he even got beat up.
Yeah.
He tried fighting off criminals as Bruce Wayne, I think.
Yeah.
And they showed him flames, you know.
Yeah.
So you even see in the Batman where he's trying. He's still it's more leaner. He's still younger.
But I don't want to lie. Jeffrey Wright played a great Commissioner Gordon, and also Lenny Kravitz's daughter. What's her name again? Zoe Kravitz. She played a great Catwoman. I think, personally speaking, I know Michelle Pfeiffer was great in the Batman Returns film, but
But Halle Berry also did a good.
yeah, she did.
Good.
But for me,
Halle Berry.
honestly speaking, I would say Zoe Kravitz is at number 1 or number 2. Catwoman as a Catwoman playing a Catwoman character. I mean, even Anne Hathaway playing.
Anne Hathaway,
yeah.
she did. She
But
tried.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! For me, I believed her character. You know, I know that I don't think it's like that in the comics that she's Falcone's daughter and all of that. But man, when she was scared, I felt for her. When she wanted vengeance, I actually wanted her to get her vengeance. You know what I mean? And you could tell that she could stand on her own, but getting help from Batman really helped her out with whatever it is that she really worked in her favor, rather.
Sure.
With whatever she needed assistance with, because I think her friend was in trouble.
Yeah.
And even the part where Batman was exhausted, right? That's one of my favorite scenes. He was exhausted. As I was saying, Batman was exhausted when he was fighting the Riddler's goons. And he injected himself for something that that revived him, and because
he had no choice.
He had no choice. He had to help her. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite scenes, because you're like, this guy is willing to sacrifice his body, right, his health, to help someone else.
You know, talking about that, somebody said, actually, I was watching Dawn of Justice.
Dawn of Justice,
Yeah, Batman versus Superman, and where Batman had his first encounter with Superman. Actually, no, when they were having now their fight, and Batman said to Superman that you are not brave.
Oh.
You know, that hit me, actually made me think that, Superman actually is not brave.